Yo.
Yes, sir.
What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Right, hello and welcome back to Mzansi. Yeah, izolo besingeke bafethu. I know that you guys were expecting us. Angeke ngenze excuse. Bekubanda nje izolo bafethu. Bekungekho right. Yonke into nje be upside down. Kumakhaza bafethu nani niyazi. Ezinye izinto azenzeki. Due to that. Sikho e-studio esivikela amakhaza where we feel hot like other people in their studios. Thina la sibhekana nawo ngqo ezwe njalo even today we are still feeling that after effect. So ke ngaleyo ndlela ayakwenzekalanga ukuthi size la but ngixoleleni sizoba behind maybe with one show because nakho ukujaha kuyahlupha kwenza izinto zingabe right. So we're going to deliver what happened yesterday, not today. Today it's for tomorrow. Basically that's how we're gonna roll now, so that we are able to shoot early. Even now this is late if we consider that we are going to do that. It is late, but I hope that this is going to assist in terms of us coming in early than just chasing after what was said today. As long as we eventually get everything in on the record properly with no rush, I think it buys Emily time also to make sure that because I mean Emily does a lot of work when it comes to she doesn't just listen. I mean, she has to capture those moments as they are happening, reverse, go forward, do everything. Unlike me, I sometimes just listen once. Yeah, sometimes she has to listen 3 times to get some of the things correct. So I then said, in my opinion, this is going to assist in terms of just lifting up that pressure and not giving Emily that hard time, because honestly, if we are fair, she has been doing that, I don't know for how many years, 3 years. She's now like a library of this case. She probably can assist in terms of fact-checking the record. So I think it's better this way. And I think I'm going to continue this way only now. I'm not going to, not unless she says I'm done. If she's done, then we are going to do it. But I don't want that pressure anymore. I want her to, even if it means that we shoot on Saturday, I think it's fair like that. So let us press the like button. Let us engage. And we appreciate you guys coming in here. We appreciate the members and everything else that is happening around the channel. You guys waiting for us. We appreciate it. So, right, Emily, let's get into it.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another deliberation on the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Yes, we do have to catch up with yesterday's proceedings. Like Mr. Anonymous just explained, a lot is going on in our personal lives. Yesterday I was held up somewhere and I couldn't make it in time to cover everything on time as per usual. Yeah, so thank you guys for your patience. And yes, we do have to go over everything because I feel like Mnisi's cross-examining or evidence in chief of Ngube was very much full of a lot of things. Especially yesterday, there was a lot of new information or some new facts that I don't think were shared before. And I am also inspired, or rather shocked, at how Ngube is able to articulate himself. I mean, one would say he's arguing his own case at this point. Yes.
He is.
So yeah, Mnisi asked for permission of the gentleman. There's a person who operates there, the pictures for them to be demonstrated for the defense. Recall that Sibanda only does it for when it's time for the state. So the defense would rather prefer someone else to do it, especially after that whole rotation of the picture incident that happened in court a couple of months ago. A few moments later, he said that he had managed to get a hold of him on the phone because he was late. And then he said he's quickly running to the Palace of the Justice quickly to collect the projector. There was a moment of waiting then. The judge was kind of impatient. He asked, who is that judge? Because he was saying, Baloi's response was that I think in terms of ethics it's not allowed, but I know one of the judges said he's been in the bench for 15 years and he said he's allowed. But then this was pertaining to Mnisi. He was asking for a moment to speak with accused number 3 while he's on the stand. And then there was a whole back and forth about him being allowed, him not being allowed. There's a judge, DeForce, who said it's okay. But then the judge and Abaloi were not agreeing with that. They were saying it's not okay. There was nothing quite sinister per se, because it seemed like the judge wanted details of what was going to be discussed, in my opinion. But then Mnisi couldn't obviously disclose that, but he just asked for permission to do that. And while they were still waiting as well for Mnisi and Baloi, Baloi got up and said that he had been looking for the uniform rules of personal or professional ethics. It says the interviews after witnesses have been sworn, it is in general undesirable to interview any witness after they've been sworn and they've made a solemn declaration to speak the truth. So the judge said, yeah, that's what I understand. You know, and somehow I feel like he didn't read all of it. But I couldn't get time to double check for myself, you know, if there's anything extra that he left out. Well, the judge asked about the gentleman who is supposed to assist with the projection of the photos, where he had been, and they'd been waiting, he said, for more than 15 minutes, and they said that he would take 5 to 10 minutes. And Mnisi asked to try to reach him. There was something delaying him, and just before he could rather announce maybe an adjournment or anything, he said he was already here. So by the time he decided to get out and check on him, the guy was already there. Then he resumed accused number 3's evidence in chief. Remember that last week, Wednesday, he resumed with the photo album, and that's where they stopped. So Mnisi said the state said the photo was taken at 15:30:31 on the 26th of August 2014. Ncube said the photo was taken in Vosloorus in Lesedi Township. So the records of the cell phone did indicate that around this time, you were indeed around Vosloorus, 15:19:32 to 15:41:31. The time within which the photo was taken, it falls within that time range. And the tower 2G Vosloorus SGS3, Mnisi asked accused number 3 to name the people in the picture, and Ncube named them as Ngcelimpilo Ndawondem Tobisi Ncube, which is himself. The next person sitting next to him wearing khaki clothes, which was himself. The person who's at the back of the red vehicle wearing a blue hat and a blue top, Ncube said Mapisa, accused number 4. And the person who's partially obscured but appears to be wearing dark silver, the person standing next to him on his left-hand side, Ncube said that was Mantsizwana Kanyile. And Mnisi said he'd recall that when Constable Zungu was testifying in respect of this photo, he said the person was standing at the back wearing a blue top and a blue hat. That was accused number 2. Remember how they said that person at the background behind the red polo, of which now we are finding out that it wasn't even a red polo, it was a VW. He was accused number 2, and apparently his face was a bit slanted, so he wasn't looking directly at the camera. And what would your response be? Ncube said, that is not true, Ntanzi. I didn't even know him and I was not with him here. That is accused number 4, Mapisa. Somebody I was with on that day, even the person that alleged that the person on the picture was Ntanzi, I also don't know who they are. That means Constable Zungu. I'm referring to Constable Zungu. I don't know him. The first time that I saw him, he was standing on this dock as well here in court. And what he said is just a lie. He was misleading the court. So Mnisi said that he further told this court that the person that you are saying is Mansizwani Kanyile. He said, I think that is me. Referring to himself, telling this court about that person who's partially obscured there. Ncube said that is exactly what he said when he was lying in this court, misleading the court. Nisi said, do you have any response to what he told this court when he said that he thought that was him? Ncube said that is why he told the court that he thought that that was him, because he knew that he was lying. He failed to give a description of the clothes. He said that it was a corduroy. The memory is impeccable, because some of the things, I have to be honest, I forgot. But when your life is on the line, your memory will be sharp. You will remember the details. And that is exactly what Ncube remembers, the little details. The fact that Zungu had said that that is a corduroy, or the person that he saw was wearing a corduroy. He didn't describe it as a khaki or anything close to that. He said it was a corduroy. He was referring to a corduroy wherever he was wearing it, not here, because this person is wearing a Brentwood and a t-shirt from Len Scott. He came and said that this person is wearing a corduroy and a long sleeve t-shirt because he was talking about something that he doesn't know. It's something that he was making up so that he can come and deceive the court. So that was said by Ngininda, so that what was said by Ngininda could sound a little bit better. So Mnisi then said in his testimony that you have rated as lies. He also told the court that at some point when you were at the hostel, when he was talking about you, he said you were totally wearing, or you were wearing a lime green t-shirt. And then you went out and took a shower or a bath somewhere, and then you changed into that lime green t-shirt. Well, Mnisi said that he wanted to see the color lime green because he's not quite sure what it looked like, and the judge saying that he's saying those are lies, meaning Ncube was saying those are lies, and now you say you want to see those lies. He was discouraging Mnisi basically from wanting to have a view of what lime green looks like, and I have no idea why. Is it not the purpose of court to unpack lies?
It is.
So why was he trying to stop Mnisi from understanding what lime green looks like so that he can make an appropriate a comparison for his client?
Because he does not want things, I think. This judge doesn't want things to be highlighted. Things that are crucial.
Things
like
for
things
the defense. Things for the accused. He has no problem with the state highlighting things. But when it's time for the defense to highlight stuff, he just has a problem with it.
It doesn't sit well.
Yes, he doesn't want it to even take place. So Mnisi said, I'm not saying I want to see those lies. This is just my own understanding. My own, for my own understanding. I have no clue what lime green is. Maybe I'm just colorblind because I'm trying to visualize what lime green is, but technology can show us. Well, he said that the picture was eventually showed of what lime green looks like, and then it was compared with what t-shirt that Zungu says he saw accused number 3 wearing on that particular day.
The master of playing these games. Like he knows lime green, obviously. He is highlighting it, and Rata is like, "Oh, don't do that. Don't highlight it. Don't show me the obvious, because it's gonna make me look bad when I give verdict." That to me is what I could deduce.
I'm also seeing very much stress. I'm sensing stress from the judge with Mngube's testimony. Although he would like to say that no, not everything is relevant. But how it has been structured, it has made the job of Mnisi very easy when it comes to arguing for his client at the later stage. He let him do most of the talking. Of course, he's going to be a lot more, he's going to emphasize a lot more, but he's made sure that Mngube shows the understanding of the investigation that was done against him and how much it lacks. Which is what has been the highlight from the beginning ever since Brigadier Ngininda testified himself. That you get a sense that not much investigations were done. It was just the comba situation of saying who can fit this description more. Let's rather find that person instead of actually investigating who committed that offense, who killed Senzo.
Yes.
So Mnisi said the time this picture was taken was 15:30 on the 26th of October 2014. And according to how I followed the evidence of Mr. Zungu, is that already at this time you should have been wearing, or you should have had, the lime green t-shirt at that time period where Zungu said he saw him, right?
Yes.
Were you wearing that lime green t-shirt on that day? Well, Mngube said, no, I never wore that. Did you ever go out to take a shower or bath? It changed into something else, according to Zungu, when you were in his company? Mngube said, firstly, I was never with Zungu and I never went anywhere to bath or shower. I bathed in the morning on that day. I changed my clothes and wore those clothes in this picture, a khaki jacket, khaki trouser and black dickies. That's the outfit I was wearing on that day. There's no stage where I went to change and wear something else. Mnisi showed him the picture and asked him if it was a proper description of the clothes he says he was wearing on that day. Nube said, as the picture is showing how I was dressed like that the whole entire day from morning when I bathed until the sun went down. Mnisi said, what is your response to these allegations that were made by Constable Zungu that when he saw you, or when he met you at Basutung Hostel, you were wearing a lime green t-shirt that you changed into after taking a bath? Mngube said it's a lie. That is something that never happened. The court would recall that I was staying in Johannesburg in town around that time. I bathed and got dressed in town. I'm going to Spruit or Vosloorus wearing the same outfit. There was no other place where I would have bathed. So I would have had to go back to Johannesburg to take my bath because that is where I resided and that is where my clothes were. Here, I don't have any clothes. The clothes I had were the ones I was wearing on that particular day. So what Zungu is saying, he's just lying. Then Nisi said, is it correct that when one looks at the picture that depicts you didn't seem to be wearing anything beneath that khaki top there? Mngube said, yes, I'm just wearing a jacket, no vest, no t-shirt underneath the jacket. So Mnisi, now on another picture that was taken at 15:31 in the afternoon, he said a minute after the previous photo, is there any lime t-shirt or lime t-shirt that you are able to identify there? Mngube said there's no lime t-shirt. I'm just wearing a jacket. I have nothing underneath. The zip is drawn down. It's clear that there's nothing underneath that jacket. Nisi then said, in contrast to the gentleman next to you, that you can say, what can you say about him as to what he was wearing? Mngube said he's wearing a jacket and a vest, which are clearly visible. And Mngube said, yes, they are clearly visible and the zip is drawn down. Nisi asked him to mention the trouser that he was wearing as well. Mngube said he's wearing a blue jacket and a blue kavela. The chest of the garment is wide open, similar to the top Mngube was wearing. They are drawn the same with the chest outside. And Mnisi said this is the point where Constable Zungu is saying you were wearing, or you should have been having, a lime green t-shirt.
See what he was doing there.
What was he doing?
He was highlighting the time. in which Zungu said around that time they Ngube changed. And he started by describing the clothes that Ngube was wearing, which are contrary to what
Zungu is saying he
saying.
saw him wearing. So Ngube said Zungu is lying, and he did say in court that he arrived at around 1:02. This picture was taken at around 3. There's a picture from the Mazibuko hostel at around 11 o'clock in the morning. Zungu said that he was at work around that time, and Ngube asked for that picture to be projected on the screen so that he could testify while looking at it. Ngube said that there is no lime t-shirt even on that photo, proving that Zungu was lying. Nisi said, so you totally dispute this version that when he saw you, you were wearing a lime t-shirt. Ngube said he's lying. He did not see me. I was never wearing a lime t-shirt. Ngube said that on that picture, the dreadlocks are on his chest. They are long from the back. They were plaited, meaning that if they are not plaited, then they are much longer. So the things that were said by the people who were in the house are two different things. Even on the head, it's clear that the dreadlocks are plaited. So what the people in the house were saying and what is being depicted here is not the same thing. It is not what Ngininda was supposed to do. Ngininda just chose to arrest me, and even some of the photos, he came with them in prison to come and arrest me. He said it's a light complexion person in the picture, not a dark in complexion person. Ngininda did this intentionally because when he came to the prison to come and arrest me, he had pictures. So all of this is Ngininda's plan to come and arrest me. So Mnisi then said, are you saying that when Brigadier Ngininda approached you on the 30th of June, Ngube said that when he had 3, that he had, the pictures that he had were 3, that he was paging before him, showing him, those were pictures. There were also pictures of Senzo Meyiwa where he was hurt. He showed him the one with a person standing behind the car, the one with Telimpilo Dawonde, the one that Nisi had just demonstrated. And he asked him who it was and also asked him to identify himself as well in those picture or in that picture. Then he asked the other person who was behind, and he told him that it was Mapisa. The other person who does not appear, they did not even ask anything about that person because he said he's not clear and he's not sure who that person is. Nisi asked where the court orderlies were. There are police officers who exchange items whenever there needs to be any handing out or of any such things. They were not there yesterday, and Nisi raised that and said that it's not even the duty or their duty to raise that because they wanted to give exhibits to the operator in circumstances where they are not even requested or they've not been requested to be excused. So after the short adjournment, Nisi now was still on that particular picture. The person wearing a cap, a blue t-shirt and a khaki trouser, Mapisa, with a necklace. Ngube said that the cap he's wearing on the picture, Mapisa, is the same cap that he was wearing at Mazibuko hostel, but the clothes were not the same because he had gone to take a bath. So Mnisi said, according to the state, this photo was taken on the same day, but in the early hours of the morning. Ngube said it was before they went to Spruit. They had not bathed yet in that picture that was being demonstrated to them. Ngube said the person who might have seen me on that day would have said, I saw a person with long plaited dreadlocks who was also light in complexion. He would not have said he saw long plaited dreadlocks, or he would not have said he saw a person who was dark in complexion, as I'm like this. I'm showing a picture from that day. It would be different if we were talking about a picture from a different day, but that was a picture from the same day. It's just clear that the dreadlocks are long on the back and complexion is also clearly light. Even a 2-year-old child can see that this person is light in complexion. The person who'd say that this person is dark in complexion dealing with this case will just be doing their own thing, because if there is a crime, I believe that the people who were there are the ones who need to come and explain what they saw. I don't think that a police officer who has studied to be a police officer, or wherever they've studied, they can just come and say that according to me, this is how the person was. Also, the people who saw the culprits had said that they saw somebody with short dreadlocks, and the officer comes and says, no, the person had long dreadlocks. That is clear that there's something going on here, something criminal going on here. Well, Nisi then said, Mncube said that Brigadier Ngininda did not specifically ask who Mncube was in the picture. He did not ask him, like pointed him and say, who is this person? But he asked him who everyone in the picture was. So obviously he went in and explained that that's also me. And that is how he explained who the person or the people that were depicted in the picture were. Well, Mncube said he saw no reaction from Ngininda when he pointed at himself on the picture, meaning that there was no surprise, no reaction at all from him. So Nisi then said, did Brigadier Ngininda mention the type of evidence that he had, which prompted him to take a decision in that he was going to charge you for being complicit in the killing of the deceased? Mncube said, no, he just told me that he has evidence that I am the one that killed Senzo. When they came to me, they did not inform me that they were charging me, because when they came to me, I was already incarcerated. According to my knowledge, I think that when the police are arresting you, they will tell you that they are arresting you for this particular case. They did not do that. What they said to me was that they wanted me to take some measurements since there was a shooting in Vosloorus. Well, Nisi said, I've got evidence admissible in every forum, is what Ngininda said. And Mncube said, yes, he said he had evidence that I'm the one who killed Senzo Meyiwa. Nisi said, Constable Zungu told this court that that vehicle that was an Uno, a vehicle that they used to go buy liquor from the Spa liquor outlet on 26th of October 2014, in the afternoon after they had run dry of their bev. Mncube said that the vehicle was a VW Polo. So that's another thing that's inconsistent from Zungu, that even after looking at the picture, he still spoke about an Uno that is not displaying in any of the pictures, but said nothing about a VW Polo that was red. Well, Nisi said the fact that Constable Zungu said it was an Uno and you are saying that that was a VW Polo, what would your response be that it was an Uno? Mncube said he's a liar because that car is a VW, not an Uno. What makes him say that is because he was not there. He does not know it. He never saw it. That is why he speaks of an Uno. It's just a story that he made up. Nisi then said, from where I'm standing, having gone through this evidence and the other photos that the state opted not to use because they could not have been relevant, it appears that you are a person who likes taking pictures, a photo enthusiast. Mncube said, yes, most of the times I do take pictures when I'm outdoors. Nisi then said, Constable Zungu says you were together at Basotong Hostel, and you'd recall that the analysis of the reason why there should have been a gathering at the hostel, it was because there was a celebration. You guys from the homelands, according to Constable Zungu, were called to come and have a feast there at the hostel. It was a jovial mood. There was no somber mood. You know, in the midst of that occasion, would you agree with me that photos get taken in circumstances where people are celebrating? Would would that have not been an ideal place where photos should have been, taken around at random, Nube said, yes, it's like that, especially myself. I like taking pictures in every place that I am. And I think there was a time that they showed or projected some of the pictures before recess. And yes, those were a lot of pictures. He did like taking pictures when he was out. Even I don't take pictures like that. It was a lot of pictures of himself and his friends and the people he was hanging around with. He collects memories. But thank goodness he did, because now they've come in handy, hey?
Yes.
It would have been easy to just cast aspersions without those pictures, in my opinion, because, yeah, it would have been much easier to nail him without them. That's how I feel. Well, Mnisi said the situation that was painted here by Constable Zungu here at court was that it was just a normal day. There was nothing peculiar about that day when he got that invitation. Ngube said he's lying. There's nothing like that. I was never with Zungu and I don't know him. Mnisi said Mr. Ntanzi is also a photo enthusiast. Did the state present photos that could have been innocently taken while there was that celebration, according to the version of Constable Zungu, that shows that the celebration at the hostel? Is there photos from your phone or Mr. Ntanzi's phone that was presented by the state showing you accused 2, 1, 4, and 5 in the company of all these other people that Constable Zungu is talking about, who were taking part of that occasion at Basotong Hostel? Ngube said there's no picture of that place where Zungu was. So Zungu, it seems like he was the only one who was at Basotong Hostel around that time, because even the pictures are not supporting that he was also there with them.
He does not show anyway.
So there's no picture of that place where Zungu was. You know, a sober investigating officer would have at least tried to get the picture from Zungu's device.
A picture of them.
Yes.
How? It does not exist. It's not like these people knew each other. I mean, how are we gonna get?
No, I'm saying that in his presenting of, do you hear how General General Lishabani was saying that he did not believe Zungu because there are certain things that Zungu could not deliver on. So to show that Ngininda was not even willing to not believe Zungu, he didn't even ask him, do you have a picture on your device that shows that you were there?
No, because I fully believe what Ngube is saying. It was a play. And you see the problem with this play, it was something that was not fully planned. You understand? It did not get to be a plan. This is where we start. This is where we end. It comes as if it's a plan where we sort of had a plan, but that plan did not work. And then we say, hey, Emil, look, man, we know we came here. We were going to direct this whole thing. But it seems as if we are out of players. We are out of people who can actually act this thing. So we're going to need you. It's your story in any case. It's not going to be difficult. Just go in, say whatever that these people were supposed to say. Hence, Zungu messed up the names. He messed up the names. He called them with everything that was written down on the docket. Yes. He called them names that did not make sense. Nange amagama omnsizwa khona la. To no overcompensating. It's like we are trying to prove that we know you. So we're gonna call you everything that exists that we know that has been used, or it didn't have the planning. It happened. Hence, the statement of Zung had to come in 2023 after the first case has collapsed. So upon realizing that no man, this case doesn't have the density that we needed to have. So perhaps, the NPA, and SAPS sat down and said, no man, look, we have presented, you see how this case went. It's like the de novo, it was like a mock.
Mock exam.
I'm even now kind of convinced that even the stunt that was pulled of Maumela being the person who was not supposed to head this case, it was meant to actually create this space. So there's only one way we can collapse this case and create de novo. It was if the judge is removed.
Yes.
And then we created de novo. Perhaps Maumela told them this case has no merit.
Maybe.
And then they said, no, we're going to remove you. We're removing you because now it seems as if you cannot do, stuff like that. And then they removed Maumela. And then we went de novo. And then let us fill up the holes that we saw. Zoom, come in. You're up next. We need someone who's going to be believable that he was with these people. But upon doing that, there were still spaces. Zungu is testifying to the effect that he could have seen these people, he could have been with these people in that house.
Yes.
Not in Kelly's house.
Yes.
It created a gap again, a vacuum. That is a vacuum that cannot be closed. So now, Ngapa, they cannot call Kelly to come and implicate herself. They cannot call her and say, hey, come here and implicate yourself. You're going to be section. Maybe they tried that thing of section 2, section 201?
204 witness or something like that.
Yes, with Kelly. And then Kelly probably was like, no, I've got a lawyer. And the lawyer told her the implication, said, you are going to be the main person. Remember, even if you are section 204, you're still going to go to jail. Kelly was like, no, and this. And then they said, listen, come hell or high waters, we're going to include her. He must be there. We don't care what happens. Maybe the relationship, if it was there, it broke there. Because Kelly was like, no, and this.
And then there was the warrant of arrest that made headlines.
Yes. Sort of like a threat. Kelly was like, okay, come for me if you can. If you ask me, in my opinion. Come for me if you can, but you know that if you come for me, I'm going to break everything down. So they can't arrest Kelly. They cannot. Even if they want to, they cannot. Because they immediately arrest Kelly. Kelly's going to come and say, no, here's what happened. So and so did so and so. Now it becomes a big thing. They can't touch her. The only way.
Does she have anything to lose as much as she did 10 years ago? Do you honestly feel like now she would, under oath, she would tell the truth?
No. Kelly cannot tell the truth, in my opinion, unprovoked. Kelly can only tell the truth if he's provoked.
If she's provoked.
Yes. Do you understand? It's like it's her ammunition. It's like, I'm gonna protect myself. That's why he's been hinting to that. He's been saying, talking, low key saying things that are saying, catch me if you can. Try me if you want to, So now that this relationship, if there was ever a relationship between Kelly and the states and the SAPS, that relationship is broken, Angit.
It should be.
Hey,
It's dust.
it is broken. Because Kelly probably refused to come and say, hey, yeah, these guys.
I did hire them.
Yes.
I did pay them to kill.
Because remember, there's even a story that says these guys came, they stole the phone.
There was.
That was a story. Perhaps that.
Hey, there were many stories. There was even one where they said they met at the mall and they exchanged money there. The papers.
The one
back
that
in
is
the
at court,
day.
it's two stories. There's that one of a phone that was stolen. So maybe they said, come, we'll implicate you as a person. Then when are you going to come and say, these people stole my phone? Kelly.
Oh, they could have played her like that.
And then Kelly was like,
Yes.
no. And this. Hence, the relationship that looks broken between the sister, because the sister continued.
She did all the way and ended up even pointing people.
Yes. So
From
that
the
now
dog.
means that the sister, without knowing or knowing, she has collaborated the story that is against Kate. Because the story in that court is against Kate.
Yes. Yes. I don't think that she did not know.
You think she knew that she's implicating Kate? They could have played her. They could have said, no, man. This thing would free all of you.
How?
In my
If
thinking.
she's sitting in her...
Later on, after this whole thing, then we talk about... That's why later, the story of the person who hired, it came. But it was not the main story. It was never there when she was testifying. And look at how they were positioned. She was the first. She was the first one.
Yes. She
Let's
was.
get it over and done with. Type of vibes.
She did it twice.
Yes.
She did it twice.
I don't think I really and I stand to be corrected. The theory that Kelly is the one who killed Senzo. I don't believe in that theory.
Why?
It's a theory that was, in my opinion, pushed to sort of create fear that we can actually say this. You understand? It's like one of those theories that have been there, like you are a person who hired, what do they call him?
Hitman.
What's the name?
Inkabi
A person who hired.
is the person who hired.
Man,
Mastermind.
Mastermind. You know, it's like a mastermind thing. You know, because if you look at how the story came about, you know, it came about when people were telling us that, hey, I talked to so and so, the so and so is saying that this is the case, this is what happened. And still, this is a person who is indirectly or directly involved. Do you understand? We might not be there on the stand, but I think the person who came up or who was said to have told that story has an interest in this case, and he has been having an interest in this case. You know, so I cannot believe that theory. I don't think, and I would say this again, I don't think that Sifiso would have hidden that. We are kumbulu to what Sifiso said. Every time, sometimes when they are chilling with Dumel, he would say, "Hey, ilentwana lena, longwe, kachiko," stuff like that. You know, that to me.
Even the first testimony of Tumelo before De Novo, you could feel the resentment.
Yes.
Towards Longwe.
Longwe, yes.
But it's just that he can't speak.
Yes. So I don't believe in that theory. That theory also was a theory of, okay, we are going to give you this, type of vibe. It doesn't have that thing. It doesn't sound and feel natural. It's like, okay, we see you are a problem. How about we give you this? How about we put a story like this? This is close. We still get the people in the house. But it still protects, in my opinion, still seems to be protecting someone. And I'm asking this question. Who in their right mind can simply say, I'm going to protect Kelly, even when they are not under me, I'm still going to protect them? Because you can argue and say Kelly was under people, under what record and whatnot. Okay. But now Kelly is not under those people. Anymore. Why the protection? I mean, it's easy to collapse this case. Remember, there's already that conversation that says, if this case collapses, then we'll go to 375. So if really that was a thing, okay, we were trying to protect you. You seems as if you are not willing to cooperate. We are going to collapse this. We're going to call it a case that is not prosecutable. We don't think that it's enough for us to actually go further. Let us go to 375. But still, that 375 is the one thing that is feared. So still, who's protecting who? In your right mind, if you are sitting down and you are thinking, okay, all these things have been done, we can still, in fact, they open all the doors that they can open, in my opinion. If they were protecting someone and that person is not cooperating and they're throwing it up there, they can do that. Yes. They said 3775 is there in case. Yes. So it's a straightforward win. But it's not happening. You can tell it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm trying to address that part of. I remember Defo saying that theory that Kelly is the one who shot. He got it from
Longwe.
He said he got it from Longwe.
In prison.
In prison. Mm-hmm. He didn't say he got it from the senior.
What senior?
Senior. Remember, it was during that time where, I think, was it when we were interviewing Defo? Mm-hmm. When he said that it's Kelly. Mm-hmm. It was during that we questioned as to why was he seemingly now talking to the father and all that. And he told that story of what happened, what he got from the people are willing to talk, people are saying one. And then later on, there was the long way thing.
The letter in prison.
Yes.
That's the one I remember the most. The whole affidavit that was narrating what's going on and what Longwe told him in prison.
I refuse to believe that all those people did not see what happened in the houses. I cannot believe that. I can. If you listen to the theory of Kelly, I thought he was hugging me. Gandhi, he was short, and all those things. The theories have been changing. All those people saw. Everyone saw. Everyone saw. People ran out of that house, in my opinion, after the incident. They didn't just run out of the house. They ran out of the house after the incident. Then people started jumping, in my opinion, and it only makes sense. And you listen to the words, selective words that Mtogo had actually said to the writer, defining the entrance of Long. According to that writer, he said, "Ngathi kwangena ingilosi yokufa."
Oh, you mean the author of the book?
Why would you define someone like that? And there is, do you remember Mngomezulu probing about Longwe being in Senzo's house the previous day?
Yes, Saturday. Oh, goodness.
So that theory where there was someone, and then the following day, carrying on from the following day, you would understand that sounds natural.
Yes.
And then ngathi kungena ingilosi yokufa. It's like someone they didn't want to see, they probably didn't want to have been accessed by.
So you have to imagine he only gets a hold of Zandi, his girlfriend at the time, when at around 6 or 7 in there. So you can imagine the waiting of the whole day after what he had seen on Saturday.
Yes.
He wasn't a pleasant person.
And that ngathi ngena ingilosi yokufa is fitting. Someone who said, I'm going to come. I'm going to make sure that I'm there. It's like, I know where you stay. I'm outside. Either way, you have got to attend to that. And then that situation of, ngulona. Yabona? And disturbs everything. And who could have been a target? It's a question for another day. But that person must have been close to Senzo to protect him. If that theory of Senzo protecting someone was anything to go by. But I doubt it could have been the fight with you know, when you hear how Kelly sometimes is angered by this whole thing.
Sometimes she does show irritation.
Yes, because her name is
dragged. Everybody's dragging her. Everyone.
She's been dragged the most.
She's the one who's getting the most baptism from the court of public opinion, because they feel like some way, somehow she was responsible for what happened. And they want her to speak, honestly speaking.
No one was protected here. Sizwe, statements were changed. Statements were changed.
In broad daylight.
You can't say it's a gun with a wheel and then
I don't know guns.
I don't know
what I saw.
Even Ngininda himself is talking about revolver.
Yes, even his affidavit is talking about a revolver.
Yes.
And yet people in 2018 are now changing their versions to say, no, we didn't see properly. The gun, we don't know about guns.
But check who out of all these things is not part and parcel of this.
Kelly.
What in Ngomezulu?
And do you think that these statements were changed in 2018, guys? These statements were changed in 2018.
Yes.
So if Kelly also changed hers in 2018, where is it?
It's not there. Because akangeni, okay. Akangeni. Honestly speaking, akangeni. akayingeni uKelly hayi ngoba nakho ukuthi they are putting her at bay so that they can deal with these ones and they'll come back later. Kelly can never be arrested, not unless these guys and say, oh yeah, Kelly hired us after, there is no way in hell you will arrest someone who's got a lawyer with this fish. There is no way.
Yeah, the accused are standing there because they didn't lawyer
The
up.
only reason why those guys are
They
there
couldn't,
is
even
because
they were not even
don't
given
have
an option.
enough money to get proper lawyers. Not to say these ones that are representing them, but they were not even there, those ones. They only got these ones after being charged.
After being charged and after pleading. And on top of
And
that,
check.
when you consider how Ntanzi were arrested,
Check
that was
every-
kidnapping.
Hey.
What time was Ntanzi going to look
You
for a
can
lawyer?
bull everyone, but there are two people in that Khumalo house that you cannot bull. Kelly's mother
His mother and Kelly.
and Kelly.
True. They lawyered up Advocate Munsami, who still remembers her.
Yes.
Very quick. She was quick. She lawyered up, and then you also heard testimony in court about how when Advocate Baloi tried to call Gladness Khumalo, Kelly's mother, she came with a lawyer.
Exactly. And immediately after that, everyone backed off. If really this was we are together thing, why would people bring lawyers? Other people bring lawyers. I gotta we trust each other, most. Like Zandi. Zandi didn't bring any lawyer.
No, she didn't.
Hey. She went there, she did her part, she had to travel all the time, well taken care of, traveling to Durban after testifying, no matter how many days, flying there. It's there. So it is clear to me. And there comes this policeman, the Shaban, who was
General
even
Shaban.
questioning how would a normal person feel. Or here, people were played. And that's why I'm saying, in my opinion, Zandi was played.
Yeah.
That's why she had to be the first one. She didn't know that eventually this case will land in Kelly's
Will
feet.
flip on Kelly.
Eh.
Because she was defensive in the interviews of her sister.
She never testified to the effect that the sister actually had to call her. But there were things that creeped in there because it seems as if you don't write this statement yourself. Someone has to type them for you.
And then there's a lobola thing.
You see what she said here and what she was saying. She was like, did she say Mtobo was busy with the phone and all that?
Yes.
In her mind, she thought if it flipped, it would flip from Togo.
From Togo and
Because that's one
Togo's
person.
friend.
Yes, that's one person who was, in my opinion, who sort of tried to fight this. She's probably the last one that they fetched. But because she didn't have a lawyer and the money that everyone has to get a lawyer, he gave in. Mtogo left early after that incident. He left, didn't even sleep there.
Yes.
And he
He
started
did.
moving from Joburg to KZN.
Yes.
He did not sleep there.
He
and if
didn't.
anything, I would assume that the family got some of the things from him. That's why they are so confident about this is what. There is no way in hell. There is no way in hell it could have been killed. I'm telling you, there is no way.
And there's also a moment where Mtogo spent with Kelly on the same night. I think they were using the same phone and whatnot. If it had been Kelly, I doubt Mtogo would have been.
If it was Kelly, why would Kelly have time to call Longwe's father? For what good reason?
That's also another thing. Why would he have called Longwe's father? Because that's not her father.
Why didn't Longwe himself then call his father and say, hey, so when's the king along he called?
Yes. Why?
So it tells you something.
And then offer a holiday.
Why
Why
would you
is she-
come in?
why is she being
Why
offered-
would you be offered a holiday
After committing
if you-
such
after
crimes.
committing such crime and you are not someone's daughter?
Why is she being offered the holidays?
Why? Why are you giving a holiday? And when we were asked, and he didn't even deny it when he was asked about the holiday.
He didn't deny it. He said he did. He admitted that he did offer the holiday, and it was a nice gesture because he thought Kelly needed it. He was being kind.
Guys, you know what? If it happened that whatever that you guys are saying, okay, protecting the weapon and all that, okay, let's say that was the case. In case your weapon, nakona, let's say someone stole it, you still get out easily. You don't even go to jail, actually.
You know, I'm also reminded of how we ended up with Basutung Hostel. Back in 2014, 2015, it was being alleged that Kelly's phone was switched off there.
Yes.
It landed up in Basutung Hostel. That's why indawo yesigameko kuthiwa iBasutung.
Yabona mina abantu abasendlini, I want them all to go to jail for the pain that has been happening around years. But specifically, kunabantu ngempela ukuthi bajeze serious, yabo.
For also this perjury that, in my opinion, has taken place.
Yabona le Kelly mina I've eased up on in terms of Kelly, according to the theories that we are hearing, being the one lutho.
I also remember around
ngabe yabona mfethu kulula ukushintsha yonke lonto le. Kulula lu. If people can go in and out and maybe get pistols as it is alleged that pistols were changed. Pistol could have been changed, but the issue itself couldn't have been changed. Even if they changed the pistol, Kelly wouldn't have known.
And another problem we have is that the ballistic expert who's working with this weapon has been on the case from the beginning.
Yes.
Another challenge we have is that the person who found the projectile behind the glass jar.
And another thing is who came there first.
Yes.
The people that came there, the big guns that came there first. What attachment
mentioned.
would they have with Kelly? In all honesty,
We still don't know why Mapiri was told to clean.
Singamphusha nje simphushe uKelly into esimpushela yona iqiniso kuphela in my opinion, but I fully doubt yabona that theory ukuthi could have snapped. We've went through that theory over and over again. Okay, you snapped, and then how did you get a papa if you snapped?
No, if Kelly had done it, Kelly would be in jail, right?
That's what I'm thinking also.
She would be
100% be in jail. And I doubt Usfiso, because I think Usfiso knows the truth.
But Sfiso did say it, that Kelly did not do it.
He was even told by big people, as he said.
Yes.
What reason do they have to that story sounded genuine.
The kind of power you see moving around this case, there's no way it would protect Kelly.
No, they have no attachment to Kelly.
None whatsoever. She's just a celebrity who sings.
That's it.
But when you look at the power moving around this case, you can tell that there's a lot of powerful people.
Imali ephumayo nani you are helping there and there.
It's not that powerful, not in a bad way, but to influence an entire state. The whole state. We haven't really given her a responsibility that
a huge responsibility, a huge one.
He's too big for her shoulders.
Oh.
It's a lot. No, it's too much. No, I that's when, for me, the perception changed, moving away from even entertaining that Kelly did it once I saw the power in this case.
And the fact,
it is too much.
We are far. We are not involved. We don't see anything. But you can see when there's this animosity between these people. There is that animosity between Kelly and the rest of the people that have testified. There is that animosity, and it's coming from Kelly. In fact, in my opinion, it's like it's resenting even her sister. Who went there was trying to polish the relationship of Senzo and Kelly and all that. But even though that happened, it seems as if Kelly distanced himself from her sister.
Yes, she has.
So, again, I ask you, it just painted for me. How does it happen? Okay, someone says, oh, yes, I'm holding a gun like I'm holding a pen now in my hand. If you want to use it, Kelly, take it. Eh? Is that how it works? Take it.
And there was a time or a period around 2018 where Kelly was crying about the justice system.
Exactly.
How it was failing them.
Exactly.
Complaining about it.
Exactly. Kelly.
Lamenting about it. And
she tried. She was trying. But unfortunately, And
then the switch happened once the sister took out that statement.
Yes. Yes.
And then she decided to go quiet and stop talking about Senzo's case. She was doing it in a caricature way with the Russian accent and stuff, but you could see that she was going through a lot. I remember she used to do drunk lives and stuff.
Yes.
And she was complaining about how the justice system was failing them. There's nothing that they haven't tried. They keep changing investigators and all of that. And then we heard also that Boma Kubo and Buthelezi had done their investigation in a way, taking Tumelo to the grave and stuff. Those were allegations that we heard around that time.
You see, the problem is that calling Longwe now from the defense point of view.
And then there was also a reenactment of the scene.
Calling Longwe or calling Kelly from the defense point of view, in a sense, to me, it's going to be pointless. You are literally calling Longwe, Kelly, to come and say, I did not hire anyone.
Yes, that's what she's gonna say.
That's what Kelly's gonna be beyond that line. I did not hire anyone.
I did not hire anyone. I did not kill Senzo.
Do you know these guys? I don't know these guys.
I don't know these people. I've never had phone calls with these people.
Yes.
I don't know who they are.
Yes.
I saw them for the first time via the television.
Exactly. And Pelil. You cannot push her further than that. What are you gonna say? They say you hired the person, you hired them. You're going to say, no, I didn't do that. Are you saying they're lying on you? Yes, they are lying on me. I've been wanting justice for this case for long. That's what she's going to say. You call Longwe. Longwe is going to be like, okay. Tell the story again. I left the phone. I was running.
In my pocket. It was not
in my pocket. obviously is gonna say he made a mistake. Someone is gonna correct one version, and that's it. Mapir, who gave you the instruction to clean, probably cannot remember.
Mm-hmm.
And like that, Jalivai the case. Like that case if
They should have just left it as it was. Because this is not on. This is now scaring the rest of society that you know what you can just be arrested for something that you don't know and you find yourself sitting in jail for 6 years.
Sizwe, the instructions they were probably given, if there were instructions, they were given over the phone.
Yes.
And guided, in my opinion, by a certain someone maybe who knows these things, who knows how it works.
For the mere fact that we even had
so,
to...
Ugutu Mapir wa cleaner, you think Mapir could have cleaned for a certain person who's not a Kumalo? That is just...
highly unlikely.
Why do you think everything happened? It moved the way it moved? Whether people were there or not there. Obvious, if there was any cleaning and there was any trying to undo whatever that was there, it happened because of instructions.
Yes.
So
now, we don't know where
the voice could be the Kumalos, the voice to say, hey, do 1, 2, 3, you do. But obviously, probably there were bigger powers.
And it was too clean. Ngisho even Mapiri did mop and stuff.
Amatina Akishu.
It was too clean.
So
where were the teens taken? Because it seems the police who got there could not even find them in the trash.
Exactly.
Like, it's like someone who knows how to clean a crime scene
and are you
was
saying those
giving
people
advice
in the house were just there knowing all that?
On what to do. They were telling them what needed to be out of that place. And it has to be someone who knows how to do this.
I think you probably...
Umapiri was receiving instructions.
Yeah, I'm a cleaners are calling. Say, I want to say, Swabu is true.
Nibabonile nani. Don't act like
you haven't seen. This is just a game. Fanele stage my fear we seen.
Hey.
Shintsha yonke into. Shintsha yonke into ibe okumhlophe kube red, red kube yabo. Uthole izinto bengecabanga ukuthi ungayithola endaweni ethi. Wena kahle ungazodlala wena.
Hayi uMaphiri bakithi was taking instructions.
All those people, they didn't know what
them.
they were, probably some of them what they were doing. They were just, big
and
voices.
If you don't believe, you should see that footage of that has just resurfaced now on X of the neighbors on the following day and what they were saying. That tells you the kind
Dido, I want you to sketch that story for me. How did it happen? Okay, let's say yes, there was a weapon that was protected. But the killer, no, they were not protecting the killer. If the killer is who you say she or he is, why is he not participating? Why is he looking so distant in this thing? I don't even want to touch it. Why? Ngathi uthi nje ukudla kwendo kudla nini? Ngendlela enikudla ngayo. Take out my mom. Take me out.
Take out my children.
Take out my children out.
From the beginning, she's been persistent with that. Take
my kids out. If it's that easy, or because if it was a weapon, we are now hearing from that court that weapon was changed according to the witness number 3. If that was the case, it would. Don't you think the voices of the cleaners and all that would have done that easily?
They would have.
Easily.
Easily.
Take that one out, put another one in.
And then it's right, you received an open seal back.
And you receive an open seal back. Done. The solution of a weapon is done. Now, once the solution of a weapon is done, even the person who shot would not know what actually this is not the weapon I used.
Mzili Kaswa Africa on the documentary spoke of a sangoma to this day.
That sangoma was apparently what, beaten?
Beaten up.
Yes.
To this day. Beaten up by who? The police. For the statement she made.
Allegedly. Well, we heard from Ziligas.
So is Kelly Kumalo, honestly
I'm
speaking,
still questioning, and I want you guys to think
that powerful.
Really, do you think that woman is that powerful? That much power? And I'm saying,
and
again,
listen to Tumelo's evidence when he was speaking about how the police were knocking at Kelly and Senzo's place on that night, and Kelly made a phone call, and those police went away. So if Kelly was that powerful, would she have needed to make a phone call?
They were not even gonna go there.
Because it seems Kelly was talking to someone who was very powerful.
And then they just moved out.
Yeah, they left them alone for the night.
You tell me that it was just a gun. A gun is changeable. With that, I mean, this case is actually proving that, isn't it? That you can actually change a gun. The following day, someone comes and say, "Oh, here's the bullet, the new bullet," and then that bullet. Oh, well, you don't even need to change the statement. You can keep the statement the way they are. Just get the revolver, change it.
I feel like also she has been used to take away the attention from what actually took place. Kelly is the one that was used as a distraction.
Everyone has spoken, guys. The theory of who shot who, you got it from someone who's directly or indirectly involved in this case, right?
Yes.
But Kelly has not given you anything. Everyone has spoken. Everyone said something. Everyone said something.
Yes.
The only person who has not spoken is the same person that you guys are accusing. Say, this is the one allegedly who, come on, guys. You can't be fed by your enemy. Udle now impela udle. Ukuphathisa isikhathi to me. Mina ngiqale lapho vele
She's
ukuyiquestiona.
been handed to the public for
Mina ngiqale lapho
slaughtering.
ukuyiquestiona lento le ngathi no.
Everyone is focused, and honestly, I'm also guilty of that. All of us have been focused on her.
And Emil, I've been
on
fighting.
Kelly.
I've been
That we are
arguing
distracted
I've been
from the
arguing
actual
against.
fact that there's too much power on this case.
So your enemy comes with food and say, this is how your food should look like. And then you believe that from the word go. Everyone was played here. Everyone obekule case udlaliwe ngendlela yakhe. One way or another.
Yes.
Mina ngizokhuluma, I was surprised. You know, when I heard it, some defense lawyers, they met with, but no. Ayisahambi ke manje kahle. Ayisahambi kahle.
Some defense lawyers met with.
Angithi phela we had to question lokuzana uTifu about that friendliness now. With him for kanjani manje yabo. So
we were like, huh? I remember I was sitting behind the camera. We were like, huh?
Yeah, no.
Mr. Nodubasi looked at each other. We're like, hey?
So you Pella, that theory comes from there. I'm telling you, go watch that video.
Please go watch that live stream of
that theory started there.
We were like,
that theory
I was so
there.
bamboozled. I did
like,
not
what?
see it coming. I'm like, but why?
It didn't make sense.
From there, I just like.
But you know what it does, and I'm telling you what this thing does. Being given someone who was in the house, it sort of soothes you. It makes you feel better. And you forget about finding the real truth.
Yes.
And you start saying, either way, they are all going to go down.
Now the real truth no longer surrounds what actually happened to Senzo, but it's also who's been behind this power moves that we are seeing with the entire case. It now becomes also questioning that you can't tell me that, no. Guys, have you forgotten Amanda Steenkamp?
And then
The Ramusipili saying what?
Usfiso is blatantly saying, Kelly did not kill my brother.
Yeah, he said it.
And there's one
2 years
person,
ago.
Family. There's one person, you know why?
Why?
Because he has never shown fear.
Yes, not once.
He's called the people's name
yes, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes, true.
He has never changed his story.
Yes, he's never changed his tune. He's never.
There is no way
shaken.
I can say I don't believe Usfiso and I show. No way. I've seen people being paraded on TVs. He has never been paraded on TV. If anything, the interviews were had there. That's it.
Yes.
And Usfiso phela uzwe yonke into umfowabo yena umuntu obebehamba naye kakhulu ngekhathi sesidumbu.
Yes.
When everyone was willing to talk.
Yes. When it was still fresh, the events were still fresh. So they heard
there
a lot.
Is no way someone coming from the side
Senzo's
that to
ID.
me looks so tainted, who's gonna tell me ukuthi hi ile theory never.
They had to go to forensic pathologist to collect
I've seen
his body.
cousin beshintsha story cousin. I've seen them changing stories all of a sudden. Bakhuluma nezangoma. I've seen everything, guys, about this case. There's one person who has been in one position. Usfiso.
Hayi siyabonga biyayela ushokile sonke.
I've seen people changing.
I'm still shocked.
Bona abantu bencoma abantu.
A whole 360.
Hey, bencoma abantu bethi
Even after that recording that we just heard with him and Advocate Chauke.
So.
He still did a 360.
So if
maybe one day he will tell us why.
If you cannot believe the theories that we are trying to draw here, at least believe Sfiso. Because it's Sfiso. Usfiso no Babu Akon. 2.
Yes, even
Baba Senzo. No, Sfiso. Those are people that I believe. The rest, I trust you, Kherinel. I can never believe those people. I can never believe those people. You know, sometimes it feels like money changes everything with people. But there are people who really feel the pain of Senzo. Who made it ukuthi ngiyozingongena egodini ngilwa ngilwela umfowethu or ngilwela ingane yami. Baba Senzo uzowayo ngene egodini elwela ingane yakhe. In fact, one can argue ukuthi enye yezinto emfake lapho yiyo le.
They gave him a gag orders for him to stop talking about the case.
Exactly.
Did you guys hear that while the family was celebrating the anniversary, that the father was given, I don't know how many NDAs, being told to stop talking about his son's death. So you can only imagine that after the NDAs, what came after the blackballing. No media could take interview from him anymore.
Then people started visiting when he was gone.
After he was gone.
You couldn't visit that family when the father was still there. And you still tell me, mina ngeke bafowethu ngeke hayi. Mina the case sengiyayilandela nje. Usuku kuyilandela nje ukuthi Kodwa nje, honestly speaking, I think I have kind of filtered down in terms of what could have happened. You know, all those theories we had when we started, it was like a lot of theories, but all of them, they died down.
Yes.
Clearly now, to me, it seems a bit clearer what could have happened and what is still happening.
There's too much power.
Too much power, Mfethu.
This has moved beyond Senzo's death. It has kind of shown the length at which power will go to not be revealed. So that's where we are at now. We don't know. But we know that there's powerful people, or power in a sense. I cannot say power people, but power in a sense that we gave to Kaylee, but I don't think that power is with her.
No.
I don't think that's her power. And now I understand why Senzo's wife has moved on with her life. And she's made peace. Even though she will never, or she accepted a long time ago that she was never going to get it. She was never going to get the answers.
She probably has an answer. She knows what happened.
Yeah, but she's made peace.
I think the first person that could have told her the truth is Umtogo.
Oh yes, he did.
She probably told her. She stayed there after the incident. So probably told her what happened.
Yeah, I see why now. Like, everybody has moved on. Like, it makes sense because what else can you do? I mean, this is too much power for one person to fight, and we must commend this Senzo Meyiwa for, keeping on. But it's not easy. It's not easy what he's been able to do in trying to seek justice for his brother. It has not been easy. So let's keep praying for him.
Nkosi size yamfikisa la mfethu asithembe ukuthi uyoba right because yena umuntu ngampela lapha mina esengiye ngithi I feel the pain that he's feeling. You know, the pain of knowing exactly what happened to your brother, but there's nothing you can do. You know what happened, but there is absolutely nothing you can do. Ifana nepain yokuthi umuntu akushaye ngempama akutshela ukuthi hayi mfana, there's nothing you can do. Iba buhlungu more the mama akutshela ukuthi mfana ekwenze fokolo.
And I think what also troubled me was at Ngininda inquiry when now death threats were being made. And I'm like, Aibo. Remember when it was time to talk about this case in particular, and then they said they received a message from whoever. They said that a lot more people were going to die or something like that. And that's when I was like, we are giving Kelly too much credit here. This has moved beyond our imagination. It was never with her to begin with. We just, because she was the one who was in the public eye, she just got everyone's fire and condemnation. But
if you believe that woman is the one, I call her teacher.
Those were seasoned advocates sitting at the Ngininda inquiry, and they just were mum. And they just let it go. And they even said, you know what? We're not going to discuss it. Yeah. A time will come, perhaps, for it, maybe in the future. But now, let's leave it alone. That's when you saw Rhea. I think that's when I got it. For the last time.
Guys, the truth of the matter is just in front of you. It's confronting you. You can try to think it the way you want to think it, but in fact, time for thinking is done. If you are still thinking that it could be, mina kimi nje phela sekukuthi ngibuke ukuthi how izophetha kanjani i-movie phela.
I-movie phela le.
Films, we're just watching a movie. There's nothing anyone can do.
There's nothing anyone can do right now. Even the defense, they're just building, their
Defense
catalogs.
umsebenzi wayo ukuthi kuphela bezokhipha. Uyabona, I'm uploading them on one thing. The lawyers that were there previously, what could have been the problem? And that is the likes of Bomgome Zulu and then Botifo. In their head, they had two mandates. The first mandate was to make sure that these guys don't go to jail. But the main mandate in their head was to make sure that justice is served, in a sense that the killers of Senzo go to jail. And that sort of killed them, in a sense of, not literally killing, I'm saying in a sense of knowing how to handle this case. Take, for example, Umnisi today. I have had a feeling ukuthi Ngininda uyamazi accused number 3. And I said yeah, I think there is there's more than what meets the eye.
Yes.
And this was the time. If, for example, it was Ngomezulu or Tif, he was going to ask for that relationship.
I was even asking myself,
and
why is he
everyone
not
was
asking
anticipating
yes?
that. But
Why is he not asking?
Now, look at how Mnisi deals with it. He crushes it down. Because he probably knows. They've talked about it. This is the case. This is, they know. So they are treating it as if it doesn't exist. They know why. But Mnisi, what? No. It has nothing to do with this case, right? In a sense, it's like a reminder, what I told you. Don't say that. It has nothing to do with this case. It's not going to help this case. But somewhere, somehow, there is something with accused number 3, in my opinion. And maybe if accused number 3 said whatever that he said, he was going to implicate himself more on the other case that is probably saving right now. So Mnisi, as a lawyer, he had to protect his client. Okay, you're going to say this, and then you're going to have to expand on it. Do not go there. And we saw it. In my opinion, that's what I saw. I was like, okay. Everyone was eager to know where and why.
Including myself.
How do you know each other? How do you know each other? No, I know.
But how do you know him?
But
From where?
one thing that the defense that is left now have actually mastered is excluding the noise outside this case. The noise.
Yes, they've been brilliant from day one.
And also one thing, they were quick to pick up these infiltrations that were happening with the other lawyers. Other people would have access to these other lawyers, and then they would put a lot of theories in their heads. And that would actually make them
want to speed up things. Want to be in a rush.
Yes. So the way Omnis is moving like a lawyer who's crushing anything that is put against his
and they're
client.
working with what they have.
Yes. They probably would have known. They know more.
They know more.
But
they are working with what they have. So that is a skill.
That thing of knowing more than you should know, you end up wanting to use it as a tool. And
yes.
Unfortunately, court in South Africa inembobo ezimbala zongena. If you cannot bring that thing in a
Might
certain
actually
way
make
that
things
allows
worse.
that law, you end up sounding like a stupid person
Yes.
who's speaking about myth and all that.
And conspiracies.
And they will deal with you.
Yeah, they will.
They will deal
They
with
know
you.
how to deal with you psychologically, Pala. They will deal with you. They will make you, yeah,
They
they
will
know.
deal with you, those
Yeah,
judges.
yeah, they are. In fact, they are waiting and anticipating.
If you
for
remember how Maumela used to deal with thief, uzukuthi hayi pha lento le iya khona it sounds legit, as in there is something.
There's something there.
But because it doesn't accord with that law, they will just squash it like there was
But ifunda lapho baloyi. Afundu
afundu
baloyi.
baloyi eshaya eqede. So obviously, in my opinion, it's not, we are far, but observing nje uyabona ukuthi hayi mina kudala ngiyibuka lento uthi accused number 3. There's something about accused number 3. There's something. I'm sure nayo beyitshela ukuthi hayi bangifika zofika ngithi wa ngalento athi hey wo mana briga mana wo ungayi lapho uzolimala.
I wonder if the state will be tempted to go there.
They are not, because Mnisi diffused it.
What if they're like, oh, they are going there because he diffused it?
No. You'll object that has nothing to do with this case. As the accused himself said it, it has nothing to do with this case.
True. That is true. That is a fact.
So that's why he put it. He said it has nothing to do with this case. And the accused was like, yeah, there's nothing to do with this case. It's like it's dangling it in front of them.
It has truly been a marathon, and to see how they have handled it, all of them, I give it to them, because there were a lot of stuff that were overwhelming, that were coming, and they are still taking it steady, one step at a time. That's not an easy thing to do, but they're doing it well.
Knowing and being able to decipher what is
the noise.
Yeah, what is correct, what should be done, what shouldn't be done.
Knowing their law, you know, and being able to move and navigate. Yes.
Kodwa le case, because it has politics, this case.
Yes.
It sort of takes over this politics. And you might find yourself in LPC. Easy peasy.
Naomi Gomezulu was being set up for that.
Even today, they said, your lawyer, previous lawyer, Mgomezulu, with the greatest of respect. Once you find yourself being quoted many times, you were playing in their hands. Kodwa ke, it's good. Uthi umnisi ubashange ngenduku zabo. Kuyasho ukuthi kuye waba prosecute.
Yes, definitely.
Amen.
So I must continue. Nakir, we are wrapping it up. After that nice conversation, okay, but it's fine. I'll wrap it up, guys. So Mnisi said that in respect of the pictures that were downloaded from accused number 2's phone, he asked if there was such a photo. Mngube said there's no picture like that was downloaded from Tanzi's phone. And he asked again, is there any photo that was presented by the state wherein you are shown to be in the same picture with Constable Zungu or any of the accused persons in the company of Constable Zungu? Mngube said there's no picture like that, and that there will never be a picture like that because it is something that never happened. DC said you should always have it at the back of your mind that according to the version of the evidence of Brigadier Ngininda, that despite all that you have put on record that contradicts his identification of the perpetrator that got into the house wielding the firearm, Brigadier Ngininda constantly told this court that you were the gun-throtting intruder. Is there a picture that was presented during the state's evidence that depicts you could have been alone whilst at Basutung Hostel? Mncube said there is none. The pictures that are shown are those of the township in Vosloorus. And then he asked, would it not have been an occasion worth photographing, of accused number one, especially being introduced to Constable Zungu, the meeting of old people who knew each other and had not seen each other for some time. Homeboys, yes.
That's President Ayubati.
In normal circumstances. And Mncube said, as a traditional man, when you are hanging around, we do take pictures. We do take photos, especially when we gather at the hostel as gentlemen. When we are drinking, we occasionally take pictures with people. We just randomly take pictures, even with some of the people who are not staying in the hostel. If on that day I was at the hostel with the people that have not seen in a long time, then we would have definitely taken pictures, because according to him, he said that it was nice and they were drinking alcohol. So those pictures were supposed to be on his phone because it was taken by the police on the 9th of February 2015. So there's not even a picture that depicts Vosloorus Hostel. So everything Constable Zungu is saying is just lies. Then Nisi went on to photo number 47. And he asked Mncube what he was drinking. Mncube said, in my hand I'm holding Power Play, but I drank Castle Light. Obviously it was there since I drank Castle Light. Obviously it was not on the picture. That's what he meant. But he did drink Castle Light. Nisi said, if indeed Constable Zungu was there, would he not have been part of this photo depicted here? Mncube said he was supposed to be shown in the pictures because he said he was with us. The way he narrates everything, it gives an impression that he was a special guest, a special person. He would have been in some of the pictures. Nisi then said, so the fact that he's not in these pictures, what does that say about his testimony? Mncube said it means he's lying. He's a liar. Even his father testified that he had approached him to come and testify on his behalf. How could he ask his father to come and do that when he does not know anything? That clearly shows that he's a person who is full of lies. Mncube said he doesn't know Gwabeni, Makosonke. He doesn't know him. Accused number one and accused number two, he doesn't know them either. He said one thing that shows that Zungu is fabricating everything is that his statement already has picture numbers. It cannot be that the witness has pictures of the case, which means that they were sitting down and planning this whole thing. He said, I started attending this case in 2020, and in 2022, that is when the matter started with Judge Maumel. At the time, there was no statement from Zungu. When the court was now changed, it had Zungu's statement surfacing, and that statement was dated the 23rd of May 2023. That statement, Zungu mentions a lot of names. Carlos Gadla Mthobisi Buthelezi boy. The Buthelezi who was before this court actually has a child at our home. Qiniselani Buthelezi. He's old now. The boy is in grade 11. So it's possible that I could be from the Buthelezi clan. So it's possible that, he could be from the Buthelezi clan. We're not even related to the Buthelezis. So he's saying that it's not possible, my bad. It's not possible that I could be from the Buthelezi clan, and we're not even related to the Buthelezis. So what he's saying here is that one of the sisters has a child with Qiniselani Buthelezi. So if they are related, there's no way that he can be called a Buthelezi. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah.
Buthelezi boy.
And remember, even Tanzi said they called him by Buthelezi. Another one of his brothers also has a child at my home with one of my sisters, his younger brother. So I can never be a Buthelezi boy. This Buthelezi boy is something that was created. Everything that was said in that statement is something that never happened. That I have a gold tooth. Those are the things that never existed. I am the way that I am. This is how I was born. This is how my tooth has always been. And even in the picture that was shown before the court that depicts a gold tooth was only shown in court in 2025. But Ngininda's testimony was that they found these pictures in 2020. My brother's picture was brought to court from the beginning of this case. Mrs. had that particular picture of his brother displayed. And Ncube said it's clear that the person depicted on this picture has a gold tooth. You cannot be guessing or asking questions that is a gold tooth. Mine did not have a gold tooth, which is why it was never brought from the beginning. That is why he said, I am the one, referring to the picture depicted on that projector, knowing very well that these people don't look alike, because it is something that they are fabricating so that I can be nailed to this case, because there is no way you can compare these two pictures, that they don't go together. Just because, according to them, I was supposed to have a gold tooth, that is why they took this picture and said that that was me. Because a person that entered the Khumalo residence had a gold tooth. What I'm saying is that I'm saying this because of the things that were written, and also because of what was said in the court by Ngininda. Because they really want to pin this, but they can see that the things are not working out for them. And you can see that Ngininda is restless and does not sleep, because he tries to fabricate, but things are not going his way. Even a small child can see that these are the two things that really don't go together. But because he doesn't want to accept defeat, he makes sure that he tries everything he has, but he can see that things don't really tie together. I'm not surprised, because Leshabani did come to court and testify that other police officials just want promotions and higher ranks. They can do anything to get promoted. What Ngininda has done, taking these pictures and trying to implicate me, that on its own has really disgraced the police department of South Africa. Because even if one were to open a case at the police station, they'll end up doing so because they'll say these people are just, criminals themselves. So people are going to be discouraged from opening police cases. Well, if it hasn't happened already. When you lose something like a cell phone, unless if you had it insured and you did a statement to prove to an insurance company so that at least they replace the cell phone, you just give up, because you know that no one is even gonna bother to help you, So if we're not already there already. So to show that my story is the truth, my pictures are in accordance with what was taken from my phone. My phone was taken by officials in 2015. Then I saw it before court. It's been years in my not being in my possession, but it's still communicating. What happened on the 26th of October 2014, even when he sees that these things do not actually corroborate, he still doesn't want to see, because he doesn't want to accept defeat, because it's clear from the pictures on the phone that these things do not corroborate, that the case and Ncube's information do not corroborate, but still he forces it. That is him, because he does not want to fail. There are many things that have happened in this case. Ngininda tried by all means to give a picture that Ncube is the one who did this, but at the end of the day, he's found wandering, because these things do not add up. I'm not the one who's disputing this, but it is the evidence that is before court. But he does not want to concede. They don't call me Die Hard for nothing. I still remembers that movie. This is a scenario that Ncube was describing. Well, after the long adjournment, Mnisi addressed the assault on someone's character. He said it is important that we deal with the perception of misunderstanding that you could be attacking certain individuals and stuff like that, And this is, of course, referring to Ngininda. Perhaps the state will come and say it's a personal or it's a character attack or something like that. So he was just covering ground to remind Ncube that it shouldn't be that way, I guess. Well, Ncube said that it is not possible that Mohani would be on the road at the same time, do a statement. It's two things that do not go together. It's a fabrication, something that doesn't exist, that is not there. Remember, it was said that Simphiwe Buthelez's statement was written around the time that Mohani was on the road, traveling at something like 120 kilometers per hour to Rustenburg. So at that time, while the bakkie, what was it called, that bakkie that they were using? Toyota something, I forgot it. But around that time, he was also writing a statement of Simphiwe Buthelezi.
So we are told.
So Mnisi Onzungu's father disputing the statement the state said he made. He even dared the state to go to his bank and compare the signatures that was on that statement to his original signature at the bank. Sibanda said that he's objecting to the process that Mnisi was embarking on. He said answers are being suggested to accused number 3. He said we submit those are leading questions. They should be disallowed. He was attempting to cancel the entire cross-examination from morning up until... God, why didn't he get up earlier? What was he waiting for? This was an attempt, a desperate attempt to, rewrite the record, like scrap some of the things that he was saying,
What did he say?
He said that he's objecting to the process that Mnisi was embarking on. The answers are being suggested to him. So he was saying that Mnisi is spoon-feeding accused number 3 what to say. Number 1, these are many accusations. And he said we submit, those are leading questions. He was also saying that Mnisi is asking accused number 3 leading questions and that all these questions should be disallowed. Answers should come from the witness, not from Advocate Mnisi. Furthermore, the witness is being asked to give opinions on evidence that is before court. And furthermore, his evidence is irrelevant as far as opinions. His opinions are irrelevant at this stage. So you see what he was trying to do? He was literally trying to scrap all of Mnisi's work in the last 2 weeks.
Well, let us press the like button.
Well, Mnisi said Brigadier Ngininda came here. He stood in the box for almost 4 weeks, exclusively telling this court about his opinion. He gave 7 points. He said that according to me, these are the 7 points that I conclude that there was an intruder in the house. And the judge said that was an opinion. And Mnisi said yes. And the judge said of a policeman or just Ratam Khwatling. Well, Mnisi said a policeman, are they allowed to give opinions? And judge said, yeah, policemen are allowed to give evidence and I'm not testifying on behalf of Ngininda. And then, of course, he went on to testify on his behalf. He says he overruled the question that there are no persons who went into the room using his observational powers and opinions. That is what he said. Which, by the way, it's not even an investigation, according to his opinions. People have been sitting in jail for the last 6 years based on his opinions. Ntanzi has been incarcerated since 2020 because of his opinions. So he said, you're saying he's not allowed to do that if you say that it's fine. No problem. Well, Mnisi said, my lord, I don't think that's a good way of engaging a person. When the court is asking me a question, then when I respond and they say it's fine, I think the court should give me an indulgence to respond. when he steps into that box, he gets to be a witness. The court should then be asking that question in the following way. Are witnesses not allowed to give opinions because the only person who is allowed to give an opinion is an expert witness, of which, if we have to think about it, there was an expert opinion, the forensic pathologist, who was denied the opportunity to share his opinion on the wound of the deceased. Who still remembers that?
Yes, I do.
And now we find out that actually expert opinions are the ones that are allowed in court.
Well, it's the same person who says expert can be actually. What did you say? You said expert can. You can differ with expert.
You can differ with an expert. So a whole forensic pathologist was being gagged in front of him, and he didn't see it fit that the forensic pathologist give their opinion on the shape and kind of wound that Senzo Meyiwa endured and what type of weapon could have possibly caused that damage according to their experience. They stopped him from doing that. And Ngininda did not come here.
Expert,
yes.
but he is a wound expert.
He is a wound expert. He works and analyzes deceased bodies from different types of weaponry that, takes their life. They do that for a living on a daily basis. So I don't understand. I don't understand that part. Well, he said, and Ngininda did not come here as an expert witness. Yes, of course, he's a police, but he's not an expert witness. The level at which Ngininda is testifying, the level at which the witness is testifying, there's no difference. And Mr. Mncube has witnessed what took place here in court. So the permission that was given to Brigadier Ngininda to give an opinion, I don't see any reason why it cannot be extended to Mr. Mncube. Then the judge said, no problem, you must read the case by Mbati. And then Mnisi said, I'm not asking leading questions per se. I'm asking the witness, is my understanding of what happened here true or false? He has got all the leverage or liberty to say, Mr. Mnisi, as much as you are leading me, I think on that aspect, I don't agree with you. It did not happen that way. But he is constantly been saying all these things on record, and I don't know what is the state objecting to when indeed confirmation of what this witness says is on record. And which is true. Mncube is just repeating what has been placed on record and contextualizing it. Putting the puzzles together to defend himself. What is wrong with that? Who's leading him? So what he's saying is not opinions, it is based on record. If the star is not agreeing with how, or if the state is not agreeing with how I'm doing it, I will approach it differently. The judge then reminded Mnisi that Ngininda was appointed by Mr. Cele after 40 investigators had already worked on this case. Mncube said that he was asked about Zungu in 2014. Zungu is the person that was supposed to report to police officials in the beginning because he was involved. He was also involved. The reason why he did not inform the initial police investigators, we don't know. Even Ngininda before the court said he was informed by his father, not about what was said before the court. He disputed that Zungu told him about himself. He said he only told him about his father, Absalom Zungu, and about Zungu and his statement that only came after, which is true. I mean, when you look at the timeline and how everything unfolded, if Zungu really was at that hostel on that particular day, that is the first information that he was supposed to have brought forth. And there was no need to wait up until 2018 to disclose that. He had more than enough time from 2014 to reveal to the previous investigators of what he had seen, but he chose not to do that. So Mnisi told him to try and not rubbish the good name of other people. Mncube said that he was not aiming at anyone. He was talking about what happened here in court. Mnisi then released the operator who was showing them the pictures. Well, Mncube said that he knew about Simpiwe Buthelezi, which I found very interesting as well, and that he was sentenced to 5 years or something. While he was serving his sentence, he fell ill. When he was sick in prison, he was given medical parole since he was medically ill. He was mentally ill. So he was ill until he passed away in 2022. So he passed on due to mental illness. And he said in court, I know they will say this is hearsay, but I heard it from the people in the homelands when I was in prison and calling. So Mnisi told him that it is hearsay and hearsay is inadmissible. Well, the defense certainly has to come and get someone to confirm this, because it seems like Brigadier Ngininda Nabo Mukhani and everyone took a statement from a mentally ill person, which is not good. It's not good for the state. So on the firearm,
Is it still taking it from the ill person even if you didn't take it from the ill person?
the person is not here to confirm whether they took the statement or not.
I'm just saying,
They passed on.
even if the typist typed and they never talked to anyone,
Konja, the statement was also typed. So Mukhani was typing while driving to Rustenburg. The statement was typed. So he was typing and going to Rustenburg at the same time at 120 kilometers per hour. So on the firearm between Dlamini and Masondo, Mncube said that one of them said Mncube's phone and firearm will clarify things after they asked him what he knew about Senzo's case, and he said that he didn't know anything. So Mncube said, according to me, when they said that my phone and firearm test, which means that they were going to investigate and look into my phone if it's not connected to the Senzo Meyiwa case. The firearm, they never came back to me. They are now charging me for Senzo's case. The firearm attested to that. I'm talking about police officials who know their job here, who arrest criminals. And Mnisi said, what you are saying is that Mr. Masondo and Mr. Dlamini, they already had two very crucial pieces of evidence that they could have used against you, being the firearm and the movement of your cell phone in relation to the 26th of October 2014. Mncube said yes, they had the evidence in their own hands. That is why I'm saying that indeed Senzo Meyiwa's case was there. I was supposed to have been arrested in 2015, because the way I see it, General Leshabane gave a directive and they followed the instructions, but I was never told that I was involved in that Senzo Meyiwa case. Time goes by. In 2017, a letter was issued that my firearm was going to be destroyed. Now, time goes by. In 2020, they say that the firearm is available at Cleveland. At that moment, we had police officials that were involved, 40 police officials. They also were determined to arrest the people who killed Senzo Meyiwa, who were working hard to find out who killed Senzo Meyiwa. 2020, on the 30th of June, Ngininda came to arrest me for the Senzo Meyiwa case. Mangena fetches the firearm at Cleveland. Ngininda was the one that was supposed to go and fetch the firearm. You know what's interesting? That the firearms were going to be destroyed. In fact, they had made Mncube fill that out, or they sent him the document to tell him that his firearm was going to be destroyed. And then open seal bag. It's suspicious. We'll leave it at that. Well, Mangena said that the bag that had the firearm, he found it open. Charlie said, who was in charge of SAP 14, said the firearm was in a closed seal bag. He said if it was open, Mangena was never going to be able to take it. He said he would have informed his commander to tell the person who brought this evidence to fix this. He was giving an example of someone who brought a seal bag that was not sealed. He was saying that if somebody brings evidence that was not sealed, he himself will tell the commander to tell someone who brought in the evidence to fix it so that he can take it and keep it where it is supposed to be kept. Sireo told this court that evidence that comes to them which is not sealed, they do not accept it because it might be that it is interference of evidence. But Mangena took it and he wrote down that when he collected this firearm, it was not sealed. While the officer for SAP 14, Umjali, said he gave it to him in a closed seal bag, and he knows for sure that if the seal bag was open, Mangena would have never taken that firearm. So there was another lady from ballistics who said if evidence is not sealed, she does not accept it. At the Kumalos, it is said that there was a revolver said by people who were in the house who saw what happened. Nisi read the Captain Mshwana's evidence that he shared on the 11th of August 2023 that supported the claim as well that was made by Sireo as well as Grobler that they did not take evidence in open seal bags. So Mangena is the only special case who gets to take stuff in open seal bags and still keep them in his office and still run multiple tests on them. Well, even Mangena said it himself, actually. So Sibia said it is not an objection per se, not Sibia Sibanda. He got up and said it's not an objection per se, but he's been advised that he can clear this up during cross-examination. However, my lord, it is important that we clear the evidence. The judge said you'll have cross-examination because I know where you're going to. And then court adjourned. So there, it seems the judge was stopping Sibanda from making another long objection, and then he comes back and reads the transcript. He can deal with it during his time of cross-examination, but he doesn't want to wait for that. So yeah, that's it, Mr. Anonymous. I'm done.
Well, we are done, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience, guys. I didn't think I would go through with this, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Ama-likes mancane bafowethu kanti nenze njani. Hayi-ke kulungile bafowethu kodwa ke good night. Good morning,
night, guys. Good night.
Good morning. It's a bye from me.